Welcome, my Edgy Entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Edge Radio Network. I am Jenn Colmenares, your host of the Edgy Entrepreneur Show, where we really dive in to uncover the good, the bad, and the beauty of what it takes to be a business builder and an entrepreneur in this new evolution of times. And on that note, I have the privilege of having the most amazing conversations. And today, my special guest is Velvet. She is with the Real Hope Realty Group. And she just has an amazing, inspiring story of what your mission is behind your real estate, honestly. So tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm like, welcome. And
thank you.
Who are you mom-wise, and what's your passion in real estate?
Okay, well, good morning. Thank you for inviting me here. I think what you do is empowering and powerful and so needed for women. So I can feel it's palpable in here, the energy for women.
I love it.
Yes, thanks for having me. So what's wonderful about being a middle-aged woman is you have all this experience to draw from.
Yes.
So it's looking back at as you say, your hurts and your pains and your victories in life. And so real estate for me is a culmination of all those things. I grew up with a single mom who was very strong, but we grew up with a single mom, and she was very busy and worked hard. When I became an adult and got married, then I had children. And we started a property preservation company, which was maintaining foreclosed homes for banks. And from there, we had our first investment property, did our first flips.
So you just rolled with it. Did you always know that real estate was your mission, or was that just kind of something that evolved with you and your husband, and as life evolved, you saw this as an avenue?
It definitely was an evolution for me.
Okay.
So my husband and I both have Bible college degrees.
Okay.
So it was definitely an evolution. So when I became a mom, and it was such a gift to be a mom and be with my children, we fostered our first. We got certified to foster, and so it was just this. You can't give what you don't have. And so growing up, I didn't have that.
Oh, did y'all hear that? Y'all cannot give what you don't have. How often do we talk about that?
Yeah, so having a family that was healthy and functional was a real gift that I had acknowledged that had been given to me, because it had not been given previously, as wonderful as my mom and our family unit was. So,
well, it kind of gave you contrast. Like, I know that she did the best that she could with her situation and where she was at, but I want to do better. Like, I want to raise the bar for my family, and that's not, I want to have different values and morals and go a different direction.
Yes. Which definitely has its pros and cons. I mean, I see from my children now, not having that struggle, there is a real strength that comes from
grit.
The pain that we have in our lives. So their pain looks a little bit different, and I have to work to identify with that.
I have teenage daughters. I can understand that.
Yes.
You hear this story about our parents go back, I had to walk both hills, both ways, uphill in the snow. So.
And they're hearing wah, wah, wah.
Yes.
But definitely that dynamic.
Absolutely, for sure. So yeah, there are struggles there, but you're right. It does give you grit, and I really think that is the kind of the beauty in being your own boss, is finding the struggle and finding the strength in that.
So the gift of my real estate for me is that it gets to be a culmination of those things.
Right.
Of the gift of being a mom, of having a healthy family, and then really identifying that the home is a special place to culminate those things for a single mom as well as for a married woman or any woman. You're at that home is just a place of it could be solitude, and a place where we find our center and get our strength. So
I love it.
That is a beautiful part for me, and I when I work with clients, I see a lot of women identifying with that.
Yes.
And then there's the other side too, of the investment side of real estate, which is equally
empowering.
Yes,
empowering, and to know that process and to understand that process and to be able to make those decisions for yourself.
Yes.
Very, very empowering. And I love that you say that our home, it really is the center of our strength. And you're right, whether it's solitude or, you know, building that family, that's our quiet time. I mean, that's our soul.
Yeah, as well
if
as
you
a
look
place.
at it that way,
Yes.
it really is.
And my, favorite people get invited to my home.
It's
so
true. I don't let just anybody in.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's all a very beautiful culmination for me. And then the icing on the cake is really spreading the word about kids in care.
Yes.
I don't like to say foster kids because we don't want to label children that way, but they're kids who through unfortunate circumstances have found themselves in our foster care system.
Now, this is something that your real estate company has allowed you to get involved with, or this was a personal journey that you had, and then it has led you into real estate, and then now you have tied your real estate and your passion of fostering into how do I make this work together?
Yes.
And how do I serve at the highest level while living your passion?
Yes.
Yes. Tell us.
So here's the truth too about foster care I wholeheartedly believe not everyone is called to foster or adopt, but we can all do something. And that's a tagline for some organizations out there. It sounds very, catchy, but it's the truth.
I think we've been so commercialized to everything that it starts out as a caring statement, and it is so truthful that, I mean, our smile gets us, a long way in the grocery store, but
this is true.
Yes.
And if you, go work with a caseworker who has been working in the foster care system, a smile, you'll see how long a smile can go. I mean, our workers are beat up. The system is just, we're so in need. Ironically, I think the pandemic has helped. Even before the pandemic, there was a big push and a lot more, publicity around getting involved.
Okay,
so
I was going to say a big push
better.
As far as getting involved and getting children involved. How? I mean,
opening up your home, having parents that are or homes that are certified to take foster care.
So that's really where the need is.
That's where it was and continues to be, but people are really stepping up. So interesting. Yes. But even if you don't get certified and open your home, I mean, making a meal for someone that is caring for foster kids, supporting them when they have a new child in their home, because they need sheets and bedding, and if you have baby, diapers and high chairs and car seats and strollers, all these things that you may not
now
have.
Does that let's have that conversation. Is that not something that comes with that child when you take it on from foster care?
It really just depends.
Okay.
So how far, this can be a really sad conversation. So whenever they take a child from their home, it really depends on what that parent is willing to allow to walk out
with for them to take with
or
them.
If they even have it to
if
give.
They're coming.
So you just don't know.
Wow. And I've been involved with a couple of other just drives and such that we've collected luggage so that they didn't have to just throw whatever and head out. But I really understand and I appreciate and see the need in being certified so that you're bringing this other human into your home, and you want to give them a stability and a stable environment so that they can become the best human and learn how to be in this world.
Yes. And oftentimes, they'll get to go, back home and be with their family. And I mean, every situation is very different. I would try to be very careful not to, and I don't think that we've done it to vilify parents, because there's so many scenarios on why kids
absolutely
find themselves. But it is a very traumatic time. So any support that you can give to someone who's helping out. But another way to get involved is not to become a certified parent, but a certified babysitter for short term. So that's a way to help, so that the foster family can go out on a date or maybe have a long weekend together.
So they can't just call the babysitter and say, hey, so we need a date night. It's Valentine's. I'm like, I kind of miss what you look like. And
right, exactly.
Yes,
we haven't had a conversation in a while. Yeah, it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so they can't just call anybody. So these people have to be certified in order to even be able to come in to give those parents a break. Interesting. No, I did not. Did y'all know that? I had no clue. So what does that process look like, and how does that go? And is that, I mean, that's something that we can still do. We can still move forward, even though it's a new evolution after all of this has happened. That's still going in the process. As, I guess, let's talk about like your real estate, and how do you tie that into this hope that you're fostering and creating?
Yeah, so the hope journey has been a really interesting evolution for me, because it started out with this idea of foster care on the forefront, and my teammate Ruben and I brainstormed ideas, and we have 3 organizations that we support. So when you work with us, something will go to Grace Manor, which is a local foster organization in Conroe.
Now, I guess let's go back to even hope, like where this idea has come from. You know, you want to give back. It's something that you do. So in looking, okay, we want to start a team. We want to base it on this. We're going to call it hope because that's what we're doing. How do you decide even who you're going to work with at that point? So you've got 3 people that you're pulling into your team and you're sharing your vision with. So how do you even go about deciding what road you're going to go down with this vision?
Yeah, so the vision for hope came very distinctly to me at a Love Fosters Hope concert. It's either April or May, that is Child Abuse Awareness Month. And in the Woodlands on Market Street, the organization Love Fosters Hope puts on a concert. They were not able to do it last year because of COVID, but it's an annual event. And I knew I wanted, I had a stirring to do something to sell real estate, because we had been doing all these other, we had all these other ventures in real estate going on. And so Real Hope real estate team came to me very vividly in that moment. The gift of the team was just that, a gift. So along comes my teammate Ruben Jonker, and he was equally as passionate.
Yes.
And I'd just say about Ruben, I would not work with anyone, but he's a real gift in that he is as magnanimous in heart and mind, and just willing to give. And there was no problem with him adopting that as kind of the banner and the mantra that we would work under. So
nice.
That was.
So it really is just, it's a labor of love.
Yes.
Yeah.
And real estate is in itself, it's about serving.
There was a silence there, like, yes, it is a labor of love. Yes.
Well, I just wasn't sure which part we were labeling. The labor
all of it. Yes. I'm
of
like, real estate is the job aspect that gets you so that you can perform this love in the community.
Well, so back to the original hope. It started out with this idea of bringing awareness to kids in care. And what it has become, especially with COVID, is just bringing hope to individuals, because everyone has a story.
Right.
And so where we used to pride on ourselves on being really smart real estate agents, and we are very savvy, we've now kind of moved to this heart place of how can we really speak to the fears of people. I mean, selling a home is one of the most stressful things that we walk through. And how can we be really good agents, but also give hope to people? So it had an evolution in itself.
Man, I love that, you guys. And I can't wait. We're going to dig a little bit more into that when we come back from this short break. But what a beautiful story of hope and how we can get involved in this world to really make a difference on the smallest level. Like she was saying, Velvet, that it starts with a smile. So we'll dive into that as we come back. Thank you so much for watching The Edgy Entrepreneur. See you in a minute.
you tired of not getting what you want in bed?
Are you ready to spice things up behind those closed doors?
Woo! We're here for you every hump day at 7 p.m.
This is Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen. I'm Jennifer Reeves.
And I'm Hendrik Scott, and we are professional licensed sex therapists.
So remember to watch us Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Edge Radio TV, just in time for sexy time.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
Welcome back, my edgy entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for joining us on Edge Radio TV Network. I'm your host, Jenn Colmenares, and you're watching the Edgy Entrepreneur Show. And today, my special guest is Velvet with the Real Hope Realty team. And before the segment, I don't know if you were able to tune in, but we were talking about not just real estate and how that is your passion, but also how you've taken the good and the bad and the ugly of what it looks like at real estate, but also as being a foster parent, and the good, the bad, and the ugly, or the beauty in that, not really ugliness, the beauty in that. And how are you going to tie in what you're doing to make a difference in this world, to really make a difference in this world with the children that you're bringing into your home? So tell us, I mean, that's a big commitment. Tell us a little bit about that system and what it looks like, and how your sales in real estate are going to support this passion of yours.
Well, it's very difficult to do both simultaneously. So I do not have any kiddos in our home currently, besides the 3 that, must stay with me.
that must stay with
that
me.
Sometimes wish they were in someone else's home.
That's too funny.
So right now I'm just in a season of raising awareness through real estate. But I will tell you, a gripping story if you want to hear it.
Sure.
Is, we had some kiddos in our home that needed, or that we took for weekly visits with their parents. And so the summer, 3 summers ago, maybe 4 summers ago, we would, take them, and I would wait in the caseworker's office. And in the office was little Jasmine, who would stay in the office every day because she didn't have a home. And so her caseworker would pick her up in the morning and take her to the shelter at night, and then pick her up again in the morning, because there was not a home for her. And that was one of the things that made me say, we have to do something. We need more people. Right. These are our kids. They're not just the people who've chosen to foster. They're our kids.
Now, what was a little bit of Jasmine's backstory? Like, how did she end up in a shelter situation? That
I don't know.
Okay.
And I only
Speculate, right?
ask for the children. They tell us as much as they are allowed to when they come into your home, but I don't ask the stories of other
Right.
children.
I mean, and just things that you don't think about on that level. I mean, that there's this child who is sleeping in a bunk bed, I would assume, or in a shelter situation, and that the only interaction and care that she's getting is an office environment of other hurting, and I guess other situations that she's not out playing on the playground, y'all, and like eating animal cookies.
Yeah, or
I
even
guess,
seeing daylight. The office was an interior, it was an interior office, and the caseworkers are doing the best they can, and she was a beautiful soul. I mean, with a voice like an angel. And she would sing for me, and we would just have little interactions in there, and that each kiddo is a person.
Yes.
Waiting to needing to be nurtured and waiting to be developed, and
I love that.
So
yes, and so true. And I think even as a parent, I can understand that. It's been a journey with my children, and it's been, like you were saying, it's been such a gift and such a blessing, and I've learned so much that it's hard for me to fathom that I wouldn't have that privilege in this world with my children, whatever my circumstances might be, like you're saying. And I mean, yeah, I'm like, I've been there. I've been in some rough situations. I was posting something on LinkedIn about the story of being homeless at some point. I'm like, I've been there. I get it. But it's that humanity that we all have, that spark that is inside of us, that passion that needs to get out in some way. And I think it's beautiful that you have found a way to foster that.
Well, what I love about you saying that is that it reminds me to be mindful of the mom, because what makes foster care different than adoption is that the goal is reunification. And that is a very difficult place to put yourself, because what that child needs is love and protection and to be nurtured. And what does that do to you whenever they go? It's hard for a mom to do that, and yet the focus was never on them staying with you. It was always on that mom getting herself to a healthy place. The best thing you can do to empower that another woman is to empower that mom.
Man,
giving her
I'm like, all right,
encouragement.
y'all, she did it. Like, I got goosebumps. And
It's just the truth of
that is so, and I love, love, love that, and that you said it that way, because, man, you're right. Like, with the foster care, you focus so much on the children that you forget that really is the purpose, and that is the goal, is to reunite families and to build that hope, and to better this community, and to better our world through these little souls.
To me, it's the most poignant thing we can do to really make a difference. When I look at any of the issues that we have going on in our world right now, and they've reached heights that are scary and dangerous and disheartening, I think make a difference there. Make a difference in a kiddo that didn't have a chance, and their parents didn't have a chance, and we can solve a lot of the things that we have going on over here.
Well, and I love that you said, empowering women. I mean, there is so much truth to that, because, man, sometimes it just gets hard and we need a break. I mean, we don't want to, and man, we don't want to admit it. And we definitely don't want to admit that it's hard and that, we need help. And that is just such a beautiful thing. I think that was just a gift that you just said, was that, I'm like, that it's not the foster care. It's not about the separation. It's not about that. It's about giving somebody some space so that they can create a space that they need, so that we really can make a difference, and then they can make a difference. They can be the best version of who they are. and they're raising this life in the best environment that they can. And then now, how beautiful is that? So are you still involved, like children that you have fostered? I would imagine that y'all build that relationship. You're a mentor in their life. What does that look like after they've been reunited with mom or dad or the family?
It looks all different ways. I mean, some moms would want you to walk alongside and invite you to stay in touch, and some moms just need that space. And mostly, unfortunately, we've had kiddos been adopted by other families, and that has looked very different as well.
Right.
Same thing. Some who really invite you to stay involved, and some that need space, and both are fine.
It's whatever path and whatever. And I guess really knowing that it's not just a system, that there are people like you that are in this system. Is hopeful. I mean, that really does. It has given me a new perspective on the path that these children are taking.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, trauma is hard. For my kids, we had a kiddo that it was a respite situation. She was coming to us for just 1 week, and they called her in the middle of respite and told her she would not be going back to her former foster home, that there was a family that was going to adopt her. She had never met the family. She didn't know who they were. And the trauma on my kids of thinking about not knowing where you're going to lay your head at night,
right?
Not knowing who you're going to wake up to was, that was a teaching moment for me.
Right.
Because as a parent, I'm just, from a parenting standpoint, loving the kids that come in my home, but to feel the anxiety that my kids had for another kid in the heart. I mean,
yes.
I don't want to start.
No.
That's awful. That's traumatic.
And not to make light of it, but I mean, I don't even date like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
true.
Really. I mean, and then here you are, you're just kind of here, and you're at, thank goodness that they landed with you, that, I think that they got to see a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of normalcy and know what love is.
Yeah. I really appreciate whenever you saying those things, but trust me, there are people doing far greater. And so this is, for me, a journey of just awareness of making, and really, truly, Jenn, goes back to your smile. Like, just that, start there.
Right.
Start with a smiling people, especially if someone's grumpy to you. Just give them a smile, because you just don't know.
Right.
You just don't know.
No, and you really, I think when you can step outside of yourself and take a bigger perspective, like you have in the foster care system, I mean, that's a totally different world that you just peeled back a layer to something that I had no idea not only is an issue, but is something that needs to be addressed. But then it's also a blessing to know that people like you are out there, that you're carrying this torch and you're shining light onto this system and these stories of what people are and what humanity is and what we can do at the smallest level to be a part of that and to create change.
There's a gal named Chelsea Floro. She's a acquaintance of mine. She has a Facebook page called Real Life Foster Mom. So if you want to stay plugged in and intrigued, I mean, she is very raw with just the day-to-day. And
she's at Real Life Foster Mom.
Yes.
All right.
So follow her, like her page, and
get the good, the bad, and the beauty of what that is all about.
Yes.
Interesting. So you guys, if any of this has touched your heart, if you're looking to sell a home, if you're looking to get involved in foster care, if you want the sale of your home to go for, if you want to know that it's going towards a good cause and that you really are going to foster hope in the community, where can they find you and your partner, Ruben? So it's Velvet and Ruben, and it's the Real Hope Realty team.
Yes.
So tell us just a little bit about that, where they can find you and kind of what you have coming up.
Yes, let me tell you quickly, that truly is a seller's market. So if you're wanting to sell your home, there is no time like the present to get that done. Many people are doing that and moving out a little bit. So look out, Montgomery, Willis, Huntsville. Yes, unprecedented times. Interest rates are really low, and sellers are getting multiple offers on offers. It's really crazy time to navigate that. Buyers are having a more difficult time. But you can find us at therealhopeteam.com, also rubenjonker.com. My number is 936-463-8940. If you want to give us a call, we'd love to let you know, evaluate, give you a price analysis on your home, see what you could list it for, tell you what to do that would make it more appealing to buyers.
Yes, y'all are amazing at that, I will say, because yes, y'all have helped me in the past in staging, and you'd rather put the dollars in making it look beautiful than to take it off the price. So that's definitely something I learned from y'all. You guys, thank you so much. When we come back from this break, I have another special guest for you, Tracy James, and we'll dig into her story. If you want any more information, not only on selling your home, but how you can be a part of this foster care system, how to get involved, please reach out to Velvet. Obviously, it's a passion, and she would love to connect with you and direct you to get involved in any areas that you're able to. So that is Velvet with the Real Hope Realty team. And I will see you guys in just a minute after this break.
When people stop talking to each other, society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Aren't you tired of not getting what you want in bed?
Are you ready to spice things up behind those closed doors?
Woo! We're here for you every hump day at 7 p.m.
This is Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen. I'm Jennifer Reeves.
And I'm Hendrik Scott, and we are professional licensed sex therapists.
So remember to watch us Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Edge Radio TV, just in time for sexy time.
Welcome back, my edgy entrepreneurs. I am with you with Tracy James, who is a business consultant and empowerment, I would say, entrepreneurial empowerment coach for, you specialize in women.
Yes.
So nice to meet you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you here and to dig into, let's talk women's empowerment. Let's just lead off with that.
Well, that's a great place to start. One of the reasons that I work specifically with women mainly. Now, it's not that I don't work with guys.
Right.
I have a lot of male clients, but I work specifically with women because I truly understand what it takes to be a woman in business. And it takes a lot of different things. And when you take into account all the different roles we play, we can be mom, daughter, sister, aunt, mom, spouse.
You lost me at one of those.
It's just, you start thinking about.
You lost me at mom and business.
Yeah, and all the different roles we play.
Yes.
And oftentimes what ends up happening is that I see women start with this amazing amount of energy and excitement. And in the process of building, the pressures of their full-time job, being a spouse, being a mom, sometimes, especially once you hit a certain age and your parents hit a certain age, sometimes you're the caregiver. So you're kind of in that sandwich where you've got kids at home and you've got your parents to take care of too. And we sometimes will pull back on what we're passionate about because we feel like we don't have enough time to focus on it. And we get drained, we get exhausted, and we find ourselves trying to give. And often we're giving from an empty cup.
Right.
When in reality, what God intended for us to do was to give from our overflow.
Right. Yes.
And in order to give from your overflow, you have to make you a priority. And I see it all the time. And I did it. Did it myself.
This is the edge behind being an edgy entrepreneur, y'all, is it really is about the good, the bad, and the beauty. It's, it's not just rainbows and unicorns and woohoo, I'm going to go out and start my own business. And, I'm a mom. I've raised a family. I can do this. I can do it all. You can't. And it's so important to plug into where to plug in where your strengths are.
Yes.
So I love that you're a woman empowerment coach in that aspect, that you guys, we can't do it all. Like, we just can't. We want to. We're just, like you're saying, we've got to fill our own cup before we can give from the overflow. So kind of what does that look like in your world and what you're noticing on the other side of this pandemic?
Well, I think one of the major issues that I saw with a lot of my clients during the pandemic was just sheer overwhelm.
Right.
We love our families. We do. Don't get me wrong. We love our families. We do. I have a 15-year-old son at my house that will be 16 in just a couple of weeks. Pray for me.
I like how you said that. A 15-year-old son at my house.
Yes. At my house. Yes. So, and the thing is that we love our families, so we're constantly giving. But one thing that the pandemic caused was that we didn't have the space anymore. We didn't have the go get our hair done, go get our nails done, go grab lunch with the girls, go out, for a run or a walk at times, because we weren't quite sure what was happening early on in the pandemic. So it caused us to be home in ways, and it brought up issues that were already there. Don't get me wrong. They weren't. It's not that they weren't there, but they rose to the surface in a way that we couldn't escape them.
Right. Well, it was all in your face.
It's here. It's in your face. You're trying to work from home. Your husband's trying to work from home. Your kids are trying to go to school.
Yes.
And you've got all of these. And then there's the fear and the unknown of what's happening with the pandemic. And so what I found with a lot of my clients was that I had to encourage them just to take 15 minutes.
Yes.
Just 15 minutes. I get that everybody's in the house.
Right.
I get it.
Mom, what's for lunch?
Right.
Mom, you know what? I wouldn't feed you if it was a school day. So you're 15, you can figure it out.
Yeah. So just taking 15 minutes to just say, hey, and put everyone in the house on notice. Look, between 10 a.m. and 10:15 a.m., don't bother me. I just need a moment.
And I really think that is definitely an important point. I don't want to brush over that, is communication.
Yes.
Like they need to know that you're taking time for yourself so that you're not going to bite their head off later when they ask once for dinner.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that is missing, is that assumption. Because the thing is, because we do, and we put the S on our chest. We put the S on our chest. Nobody else puts it there.
I'm totally guilty, yes.
We put the S on our chest.
I'm like, don't forget Queen. I got the crowns. Yeah.
And so we put ourselves in that position where we put in that pressure on ourselves. And when we don't communicate that we need help, that we need a moment. Before the pandemic, my son and I had an understanding that when I walked in the house, I needed a minimum of 30 minutes.
I love it.
Preferably an hour. But if he couldn't give me an hour, give me 30 minutes. Let me walk in the house. Let me get comfortable. Let me clear my head from the day.
Now that's interesting, because this is funny to me, because I grew up in such a leave it to beaver kind of like mentality, that, you know, when Dad came home, that we were like, yay, Dad's home. Let's go jump on him and say hi and give him a hug. I mean, that was all we knew. I'm like, I grew up watching the Brady Bunch and dating myself. So that's interesting. That's so true. That if I could just come in and have silence and get reacquainted with this vibe, then it makes the whole difference in the tone for the way.
I've even had clients call me from their garage. I've gotten text messages going,
okay, the car is off and the garage door is
and they will text me and say, I need 5 minutes. Can you talk to me? Yes. And I'll get on the phone with them, and they're sitting in their garage and they're going, I don't want to go in the house.
Yes.
Traffic was crazy. Work was crazy. That proposal I've been working on, they said no to. They ripped it apart. I mean, just they're feeling just drained. Yes. But they know in the minute they walk into the house, they've got to deal with homework and dinner and communicating with their spouse. And so how can you really think about your business?
Yes.
But it's on your mind.
It's still there.
It's on your mind.
There.
And so you need that,
your
that sounding
business
point.
Also has just taken on a different step. So you're sitting in your car from your work day, but now you just walk in and now you've got that additional pressure of, okay, well, my work day was just really bad. They said no to that proposal. Now what am I going to do? What's my next step? How am I going to take care of these people and then these people are tugging on you and pulling on you and wanting all of this from you. And meanwhile, now you're struggling with that mom guilt of, okay, I'm here in the moment, but I want to make sure that your future is taken care of as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's that thing of, it's a balance. And so people always talk about work-life balance, and what is
that? Is there a
it's a myth.
Like,
it's a myth. It is truly a myth. Because we're searching for balance, and balance actually equates that the same amount of time you spend on work is the same amount of time you spend on your life. That is invalid.
Yeah.
There are times where your family needs you more and you need to pull away from business.
Yes.
But then there are also those times as a business owner where you have to pull away from family to handle the business of the business, to be able to take care of them. Right. And that's where it comes back to the communication.
Yes.
And being willing to say, I need help. One of the things when I'm doing the one-on-one coaching with women, one of the things I have them do is assess their time. Looking at their time. How do you really spend your time?
Yeah, well, hold on. No, really look at your time. Like, not what you have written down for your goals today, but when you didn't check that box, what other 9 things did you do that you really did? Yeah. So that's being,
Yeah, really tracking your time. So usually what I'll do is I'll give them 30 days, and I'll say, I want you to track your time for 30 days. And an amazing thing happens usually about 14 days in, about halfway through, 2 weeks in, they'll email or text, and they'll be like, wait a minute. They're like, I don't even need to do the last 2 weeks because I'm not working on the stuff I'm supposed to be working on. Right, exactly. That's why you feel overwhelmed with your business, is that you're working on things that you really should be delegating to your assistant. You're
Right.
working on things that you really should be outsourcing. You're not
So
working on the high
why-
value task.
And see, that's not even really where, yes, that is exactly where I thought it was going. But also, I think giving ourselves credit for all that we do and
Yes.
finding grace in that. Why 2 weeks? Like, that's it. I really would have thought that you would have said like 4 days. Like,
No.
does it take us that long?
Well, usually what it is at that first week, they're not really writing everything down. And so
there
I
is
do-
power in the pen.
Okay, so I do a follow-up email and go, did you really write down everything last week that you did? And I'll make them go back and reassess. And then they
Right.
go back and reassess the previous week. And then as they're going through this week,
They're like, oh, she's gonna ask me again.
she's going to ask me
She's
again.
gonna
So
ask
am
me
I
again.
really writing everything down? And what I do is, before they do the time assessment, I have them write down their priorities. These are the things that are
Yes.
most important to me right now. Okay.
Right.
Now, now I need you to compare the list.
So when we come back from break, let's talk about this list and what is on it and how we compare it. And really, guys, how we nail down where our priorities are so that we can stop living in exhaustion and learn to put our oxygen mask on first. So I'm excited. I will see you
Let's
on the
do it.
flip side. So stay tuned after this commercial.
We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness can strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the #1 reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing FindHealthBenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to FindHealthBenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Welcome back, my edgy entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Jenn Colmenares, and this is the Edgy Entrepreneur Show. We are talking with my special guest, Tracy James, and we were talking about women and how we really do need to write stuff down so that we really do know where our time is going. and you were giving us a tool that you use.
Yeah, one thing you can do real quick, you just write down what your priorities are. What you say your priorities, the things that are most important to you.
Like covering up my grays kind of priorities?
No,
or like...
more about, I want to work out. I want to spend time with my kids. I want to spend time with my spouse. I want to, I want to get this certification or this license. The things that we say are our priorities right now.
So I guess like the things your 2021 kind of
agendas. I don't like saying resolutions. I like saying goals. The things
priorities.
Your priorities.
I like how you said that.
Yeah.
Priorities.
So those are the things you say are important to you. So what should happen is that your time that you spend should correlate to those priorities. It should.
Right.
But often it doesn't. So once you sit down and take a look and assess your time and begin to look at how you spend your time every day, what happens is usually within the first 2 weeks, you see that what you say your priorities are and where you're spending your time are out of line.
Right.
And it's generally because we're doing things that we shouldn't be doing. We're doing things to be busy.
So now you say we're doing things. So we're doing things as entrepreneurs. We're doing things as women. We're doing things.
It's a combination of things. It depends on the person. For some people, the pull is their family and friends. That's a major priority for them. So if someone that they love calls and says they drop everything that they're doing and they run. And I'm not saying you don't be there for people, but there has to be some boundaries.
I love that you said that because you know what? And I was that friend. I mean, I really was. And I prided myself on being that mom. And
I wore that badge proud.
Yes. Like you're sick at school. Okay, you got to, whatever it was. Yes. I have learned. But then it goes back to communication too.
Yes. And being able to openly say, this is a no right now.
Yeah.
And understand that no at times needs to be a complete sentence.
Yes.
Because some people, if you try to explain why you're saying no, they will give you reasons and rationales for why you can still say yes.
No is not a 4-letter word. It does not require any explanation. No. Did y'all get that?
No is a complete sentence. And just grasping that in itself and saying, right now, I would love to help you. But right now, these are my priorities.
Yes.
And sometimes we do have to draw the boundary in the 4 walls of our home.
Yes.
And because I'm going to be honest, sometimes the issues we have in our marriages have to do with the fact that we're giving so much outside of the home that we have nothing left when we get home.
Yes. Well, you're tired.
Yeah, you're exhausted.
Just spent like however many hours with all these people that needed all this other stuff from you. You just, you don't want to be. I didn't want to be like even touch sometimes. Like it's I just need my space. And I really think that is a good visual. Like I need time to get in and get centered and reconnected with the energy in my home.
Yeah.
Like it's not that I need to wash the day off or put it behind. I need time to reassociate and reconnect.
Yeah. Because the truth of the matter is, if you're married, when you're out of the house and you're working your business, you're the boss. You're making the decisions.
Right.
Okay. Sometimes
that's how I like it.
We need to cut it off when we get home and we're with our spouse.
Yes.
We need to be able to cut that off. And I'm going to be honest. I like not making decisions sometimes. I just do. Like, don't ask me what I want for dinner. You know me. You know what I like.
Just make something.
Just pick it up, fix it, whatever.
Right.
Sometimes I just don't want to make the decisions. Or just say, hey, honey, let's just do a pot of spaghetti or a pot of chili tonight. Okay, let's get in the kitchen and let's do it together. So it's not just about getting the things done that need to be done in the house, but also finding that space where you can do those things together.
Well, and not even with just your spouse, even with your children.
Yeah.
Like I have really found that as raising my daughters and being a single mom, that my communication with them was invaluable. I mean, when there are times when, and I don't want to let them down. I don't want to ever tell them no. But when I can get on the phone with my daughter and say, look, this is a no right now. This is why I really didn't want to hurt your feelings. I really didn't want to let you down. There's so much mom guilt attached to this right now, but I'm so glad that I can have this conversation with you so that you don't think that I wear a cape all the time.
Yeah. And I think as single moms, it gets to be that space. You know, having been divorced, I have a different viewpoint.
Yeah.
I can know what the perspective is of being the wife.
Right.
And I also know what it means to be the single mom.
Right.
And I have to say no a lot of times. And it's tough to say that to your child. But being able to have that open, honest communication, my son actually has a better understanding now. He goes, well, Mom, I really kind of want to do X, Y, Z. You know, how does that work into your schedule? So it's not a sense of entitlement.
Yes.
It's an understanding of Mom's running a business,
right,
which pays the bills, which enables you to do all of these wonderful things you like to do.
Right.
So I need to show some respect to Mom's time and her abilities.
I love that you've fostered that relationship because, I mean, now that is going to go out into the world with a new respect, and it's not an entitlement. It's a communication.
Yeah, it is. It's because I love you. I want to do for you.
Right.
I'm here for you. But we have to have some understanding of what I need. And then I also have to be understanding of what he needs.
Right. True.
And so when you are a business owner and you truly are in that space of really wanting to build your business, you have to take care of you and your home first.
I love it. You guys, if you need any more fuel, if you need direction and help with those priorities and business and family life and personal life, give Tracy a call. Where can they find you?
You can find me on social media. I am Tracy L. James on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Awesome.
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm Tracy L. James, and I'm the special Tracy, y'all. Tracie.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
My mom wanted me to stand out in the midst of all those 70 babies that were named Tracy.
I hear you. I'm a Jen. I'm a Jennifer. I'm a Jen. Yes, I totally hear you. You guys, thank you so much. There's going to also be a link below to this show. I wanted to just make y'all aware. The Montgomery County businesswomen are collecting clothes so that they can dress beautiful women to send them out on these interviews. So we're empowering from the inside. So stay tuned for that. Until next Thursday at 10 o'clock, go out and be the change that this world needs.